desperately need individual interests, individual attention from qualified teachers. If you take this away and centralise education, give it to people who have other things on their mind, then the individual needs of children in our own country are not going to be attended to. Local control of schools is vital for children who parents know what they need. Local authorities are much more in tune with the needs of their own community. It is not right to have big decisions about what goes into the curriculum taken behind closed doors with bureaucrats, industrialists, people who have personal agendas. So our children are to get computer-based education in schools, lifelong learning. And Edith Cresson said originally that it would just be for simple jobs. And one of her definitions of a simple job was a teaching assistant. Now, in our schools in Britain, many are failing. Many have very great difficulty in getting heads and teachers to stay in the violent schools. So teaching assistants are very important people now in classrooms, keeping children at their lessons. But they are not people who have had the knowledge-based education, or will not have if the education agenda in Europe goes forward any further. And I think that the literacy and the seriousness of the reading ages and the numeracy which we have in our country is not being addressed by this agenda. And I do think that the broader and the more centralised agenda that we get decreases the actual value and the need of the children in the classroom. So the practicalities of having a centralised European education system are already questionable. The chief of Tesco's, Terry Leahy, said that even the children who apply for jobs, for simple jobs in Tesco's, are not qualified enough to work for him. And I think that is outside the educational world, and it is a comment on the very serious situation that education is in. And I wonder if anybody there looking at this would want their own children to have a no-knowledge education. And it's very difficult to find anything else if you're in a poor catchment area and you can't afford a private school. So my conclusions from this short talk about the education is the road to serfdom is there for many illiterate children because of the European single economy, which has no higher aspiration than teaching children how to use a computer. People in charge of higher education in Europe cannot be trusted not to introduce a Marxist curriculum. And finally, what moral grounds are there in the education curriculum to decide from Brussels that children should have a no-knowledge education? There is no moral authority from the bureaucrats in Brussels to take decisions like that from parents, out of parents' hands, as to what is taught in our schools. I do recommend you to read The Road to Serfdom to all who are interested in the practical realities of personal freedom.